Kitchen ventilation is one of those things that rarely gets much attention. Most people focus on cabinets and worktops first, and the cooker hood can often be a bit of an afterthought. The truth is, good ventilation can make a huge difference to how comfortable your kitchen feels day to day, especially in open plan homes. So, in this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know about kitchen ventilation. Do you have to have a cooker hood? This is one of the most common questions I get on the topic, and the honest answer is yes, no, maybe, technically not always, and it really depends. But practically speaking, some form of kitchen ventilation is strongly recommended and often required in almost every home. From a regulations point of view, this does vary by location, but in many cases, a cooker hood itself isn't legally required. However, adequate ventilation is. That might be achieved through a cooker hood, but also a separate extractor fan on the wall somewhere, or a whole house mechanical ventilation system. The exact specification for these can really vary, so just make sure the kitchen meets ventilation requirements for where you live. Benefits of a cooker hood. First up, it is the air quality. Cooking releases grease particles, steam, and airborne pollutants into the air, and without proper extraction, these just linger and eventually you're breathing them in, or they settle on your cabinets, walls, and even your ceilings. Having a cooker hood, especially one that vents out, will dramatically increase your air quality. Next is moisture control. A good cooker hood reduces condensation, which is especially important in modern airtight homes. Too much moisture can lead to mold growth, peeling paint, and even damage to your cabinetry over time. And then there's grease buildup. Even if you don't fry often, everyday cooking produces tiny grease particles that land on surfaces. A hood captures all of this before they spread, helping to keep your kitchen cleaner. Don't forget odor control. Strong cooking smells can linger for hours, sometimes even days, particularly in open plan layouts. A good extractor keeps your kitchen and the rest of your living space smelling much fresher. And finally, they can help with long-term protection. By controlling moisture and grease, a well-chosen hood helps preserve worktops, cabinetry, and paintwork, keeping your kitchen looking good for longer. Types of kitchen cooker hoods. When it comes to cooker hoods, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The right choice depends on your kitchen layout, your ceiling height, how you cook, and whether you can vent outside. So I thought we'd walk through the most common types of cooker hood. Chimney cooker hoods. Chimney hoods are one of the most popular options you'll see. They're wall-mounted above the hob or cooktop with a visible chimney section that helps to hide the ducting. They're known for strong extraction and they work well in most standard kitchen layouts. You'll also find them in a huge range of styles, from sleek and modern to more traditional designs. Integrated or built-in cooker hoods. Integrated hoods are built into a wall unit above the hob or cooktop, so when they're switched off, you barely notice that they're there. They're ideal for minimalist kitchens or designs where you don't want the extractor to stand out. They're also often more affordable than larger statement cooker hoods. They're usually attached to a wall cabinet door and open up a little bit with it, or have a pull-out telescopic section or little visor at the front that you can lift out to give the hood more reach over your hob or cooktop. Canopy cooker hoods. Much like built-in cooker hoods, canopy hoods sit inside or underneath a cabinet or built-out boxing section. They just don't pull out or lift up with the door like integrated hoods often do. They're just fixed in place underneath. They're compact, practical, and easy to fit into standard kitchen units, which makes them a popular kind of no-nonsense option. Island chimney cooker hoods. Island hoods are designed specifically for hobs on kitchen islands and are mounted from the ceiling and are finished on all four sides. They usually offer strong extraction and can become a real design statement in the space. On the flip side, however, they're typically more expensive, they require ceiling ducting, and need careful planning to avoid blocking sight lines or overwhelming the room visually. Ceiling cooker hoods. Ceiling hoods are built flush into the ceiling above the hob, creating a very clean and uncluttered look. They're often used in open-plan kitchens or over kitchen islands where a traditional island hood may feel a bit too bulky. Because they sit further away from the hob, they're typically more powerful to compensate for this. They're discreet and visually minimal, but they do cost more and need the right ceiling height and structure to work properly. Downdraft extractors. Downdraft extractors sit flush in the worktop and rise up behind the hob when switched on. Instead of pulling air upwards, they draw steam and smells across and down at the source. They're sleek, modern looking, and perfect where overhead extraction isn't practical or wanted. However, they can struggle with larger pots or very steam-heavy cooking, especially if the pots are at the front of the hob, away from the extractor, as they have to pull everything across and down. Venting hobs. Venting hobs combine the hob or cooktop and the extractor into one appliance. Extraction is built directly into the cooking surface, pulling steam and smells immediately down before they get a chance to spread around the room. They're extremely popular in modern open-plan kitchens, especially on islands, because there's no need for any kind of overhead cooker hood at all. The trade-offs, however, are cost, reduced storage space below due to the motors and ducting inside, and the need for careful planning at the installation level. Vented versus recirculating cooker hoods. I've done a whole detailed video on this topic if you'd like a deeper dive, but quickly, here are the key points. With a vented cooker hood, the air is pulled up through the hood and expelled out via ducting, usually through an external wall or the roof. This is widely considered the most effective form of kitchen extraction. The main drawback of them is the installation. You need access to an external wall or roof for ducting, which isn't always possible in flats, apartments, or internal kitchens. Recirculating cooker hoods pull air through carbon filters, clean it, and then release it back into the kitchen. These systems don't require external ducting, making them far easier to install, especially in properties where venting outside isn't an option. However, they're less effective than vented systems because moisture stays in the room and carbon filters need to be replaced regularly to maintain their performance. Recirculating hoods are best used when external venting simply isn't possible. Cooker hood placement regulations. The correct placement of a cooker hood is essential for both safety and performance. While there are general guidelines, it's important to remember that manufacturer instructions always take priority over any broad recommendations. In the UK, cooker hood clearances are typically based on the type of hob you have beneath it. For electric and induction hobs, the minimum distance is usually around 650 millimeters from the hob surface to the underside of the hood. For gas hobs, the clearance is generally increased to 750 millimeters depending on the manufacturer. Gas produces open flames and more heat, so additional space is required for safety. In the USA, typical clearance regulations are broadly similar, though they are often expressed in inches rather than millimeters. As with the UK, the manufacturer's installation instructions should always be followed, even if they differ slightly from general guidance. What size cooker hood do you need? Ideally, your cooker hood should be at least as wide as your hob and often slightly wider if possible. Matching the width ensures that all the steam, smoke, and odors are captured effectively. A hood that's too narrow will allow fumes to escape, reducing performance significantly. Also, keep in mind the look and scale of your kitchen. A tiny cooker hood above a massive hob can look awkward, while an oversized hood in a small kitchen can dominate the space. Aim for something functional, but also visually proportionate. Cooker hood extraction rates. Choosing the right extraction rate is just as important as selecting the style of the hood itself. Too weak and it won't cope with everyday cooking. Too powerful, they may be noisy or unnecessary for your space. So what exactly is extraction rate? The extraction rate tells you how much air a cooker hood can move in a given time. In the UK and most of Europe, this is measured in cubic meters per hour. In the USA, it's measured in cubic feet per minute. Put simply, the higher the number, the more air the hood can extract. How to work out the right extraction rate? To do this, you firstly need to calculate your kitchen volume. Multiply the length width and ceiling height of your kitchen to get the volume. Then apply the air changes per hour. A typical kitchen needs 10 to 12 air changes per hour. So your kitchen volume times by your air changes equals your required extraction rate. And then think about adjusting this up or down a little bit depending on your real life conditions. You may want a slightly higher extraction rate if your kitchen is open plan, you cook with gas, or you use a high output or professional style hob, or you do a lot of frying or wok cooking. In these cases, increasing the extraction rate by 10 to 30% is often a sensible idea. Noise levels. Noise can sometimes be one of the more overlooked aspects of kitchen ventilation, yet it's often the thing that homeowners complain about most after installation. Cooker hood noise is measured in decibels, and as a rough guide, 40 decibels is similar to a quiet library, while 60 decibels is closer to normal conversation. Many cooker hoods will list several noise levels as sound increases with each fan setting. This is why it's sometimes worth choosing a hood that is powerful enough for your kitchen so it can run on a lower, quieter setting most of the time rather than constantly on maximum setting. Ducting quality also plays a big role. Poorly installed ducting, long duct runs, or multiple sharp bends can all increase noise and reduce efficiency. Smooth, solid ducting with minimal bends is quieter and performs far better than flexible ducting in most situations. If your kitchen is open plan, or you spend a lot of time socializing while cooking, paying attention to the noise levels can be especially important. Maintenance. Ventilation only works if it's clean, and this is the part that most people completely overlook or just forget about. Most cooker hoods will use metal grease filters that trap all the oil and grease from your cooking. These should be cleaned every 1 to 2 months, depending on how often you cook. Most filters can be removed easily and washed in warm soapy water or cleaned in the dishwasher on a gentle cycle. If extraction feels weaker or the hood sounds louder, it's usually a sign the filters are overdue for a clean. And if you have a recirculating cooker hood, carbon filters are essential for removing smells, and these typically need replacing every 3 to 6 months. Some newer models use long life or regenerable filters, which last longer but still require regular maintenance. Once carbon filters are saturated, they stop absorbing odors and the hood becomes far less effective. So remember to change your filters. So to sum up, you should plan to have a cooker hood in your kitchen unless you have a very strong reason not to. Choose a style that fits your layout and aesthetic preferences, and if possible, vent it outside, and if you can, make this a priority. Ensure the extractor is the right size, has an appropriate extraction rate, isn't too noisy, and is installed correctly. Finally, maintain it regularly to enjoy the long-term benefits. Kitchen ventilation might not be the most glamorous part of kitchen design, but it is an important one. So, what kind of ventilation are you planning for your kitchen? Or do you have any particular experience you can share with any of them, good or bad? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, I'm sure you'll like this one, where I go on another deep dive, this time all about your kitchen sink options. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.